Announcer microphone test 1, announcer microphone test 1.
Illinois, Wisconsin men's lacrosse game features the Augustana College Vikings and your North Central College Cardinals. The NCAA, North Central College, and the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, spectators, or team representatives, as well as public intoxication and consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco products are grounds for removal from the stadium and other disciplinary action. Introducing tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Vikings. Number 4, Jason Van Dyke. Number 6, Matt Pearson. Number 12, Travis Hastings. Number 13, Matt Valera. Number 22, Lee Warwell. Number 23, John Calabrese. Number 24, Pearson Mapes. Number 29, Matthew Jarzinski. Number 55, Mark Teschke. And in goal for Augustana, number 16, Tommy Angelos. Augustana's head coach is Dan Torrey. He's assisted by Anthony Nobleman. And now the starting lineups for your North Central College Cardinals. Number 5, Sean Tamanari. Number 6, Stephen Foe. Number 9, John Fitzgerald. Number 11, Tommy Izinga. Number 18, Jared Weaver. Number 19, Jacob Ray. Number 22, Stephen Dale. Number 24, Tanner James. Number 34, Casimir Planzinski. And goal for the Cardinals, number 43, Dylan Fox. The head coach of the Cardinals is Jay Farrell. He is assisted by Blake Keenan and Trevor McNamara. Fans at this time, please ask that you rise and face the flag at the south end of the field as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Beautiful night on tap here at North Central College. A matchup between the Cardinals and the Vikings, hailing from Augustana College, in town to take on NCC in a CCIW bout. North Central entering 8-2, Augustana 6-7 overall. Both teams 1-1 in conference and trying to gain that edge as the postseason looms. The opening draw is taken and won by the Vikings, and this should be a really interesting matchup that we have tonight on NCTV 17. I'm Kevin Jackman. Thanks so much for tuning in. This represents the third matchup between these two teams, in which Augustana won the first two, as Dylan Cost able to deflect a shot from Mark Teschke, a freshman from Orland Park. The Cardinals have dropped the first two meetings between these two teams, but both have been close, including last year's a 6-5 overtime loss. So the Cardinals trying to get over the hump this go-around. It's been a good go so far for the Cardinals, who, like I said, are 8-2. They're coming off a big-time win against Carroll, in which they basically had their way. As Teschke falls into the crease and the Cardinals get possession. Cardinals beating the Pioneers from Carroll 18-3. Of course, that was a big momentum breaker. You didn't want the loss to Illinois Wesleyan to have some sort of carryover effect. The Wesleyan game going against North Central 12-4. Not much of a breeze, but apparently it's affecting our crowd mic. Must be hitting it absolutely perfectly flush. So we'll monitor that over the course of the night. But a beautiful setting. The sun is just on the horizon over downtown Naperville. The temperature all day has been around 70 degrees. And the first goal of our game is put in by Jared Weaver. Weaver coming off a fantastic performance in which he scored 8 goals, setting a new career and new program best for a single game mark with 8. And he nabs the first one right here, and North Central leading now 1-0. So Weaver picking up right where he left off, and that's a good sign for North Central as they try and take down Augustana for the first time in its program's history. Viking player sent off, interestingly enough. It was John Calabrese that gets sent to the bench. On in his stead is Jacob Leffel, a junior, make that a sophomore from Glen Ellen. And we're back and running. So the face-off belongs to the Vikings. And up the field comes Matthew Lampisano. Behind the net it goes. Here come the Vikings and Teschke. Dishes out of it. Lights are on, not really taking much effect at this point in time. First quarter of play. North Central leads 1-0, 2.5 minutes in. Fading in and throwing behind the net is William Reese III. Now possessing Travis Hastings, but that one, a caused turnover credited to Sean Tamadari. And the flag thrown on the Vikings' Hastings. So he'll make his way off the field. And the Cardinals will advance it. .12:11 frozen on the clock. Pretty great crowd on hand. Lots of fans have shown up. There's obviously a lot of red, but also quite a bit of navy blue Viking fans traveling well from Rock Island, about a 2-hour drive on a good day. Up top it goes, and with it right now is Tommy Huizinga as he passes out. Cardinals leading 1-0, and the time at the moment, 11:42 to go here in the first quarter. And Augustana will pick it up off the turf, and they will come back down the other way. Blitzing up the field is Jason Van Dyke. Gives way. Lee Warwell finds up at the top Lampasona. Now coming in was Reese the third. Stutter stepping, Van Dyke. Chopper, and Kost will pick it up. Now he's getting chopped at, gets hit in the helmet, and another flag flies, and the Cardinals will benefit again. Shot on goal, no good for Huizinga, but goes the opposite way, and the Cardinals will maintain possession. They'll also benefit from this second flag. Viking fans coming out in droves tonight. You can hear some of them disagreeing with that recent call. 10:20 to go, first quarter. North Central owns a 1-0 lead against Augustana. Sun peeping out from behind the clouds, illuminating the field, perhaps a little better than the lights are at the present moment. Ball still loose on the ground. The Cardinals still trying to pick up that ground ball. And finally thrown out, and Jacob Ray comes away with it. And NCC will try and settle down here. Behind the net, now Ray with it, surveying, and has his pass intercepted. The lob out front connects with Matt Pearson. When picking up a little bit again, as Augustana will slow play this a little bit, gets set. Attempting to try and tie our game at 1. Behind the net it goes. Kost out in front and snags it. Nothing getting past Dylan Kost, the junior from Barrington, Illinois, has been with the team since day 1. Again, this is a third-year program. Jay Farrell has been at the helm for all 3 seasons. And Kost has been the goalie the majority of the time. He has been sharing a little bit of time with Zane Hartz, both of which have some excellent stats to show for their time on the field this year. But Kost, in a very important game for the Cardinals, is the one starting between the pipes. I think performance is a big factor, but also the experience factor for number 43. Out in front and up top to Tanner James, swinging it around the horn. Scheinfeld with it, makes a move, buries his shoulder into his defender and throws it on goal, but Tommy Angelos will wipe it away. .749 to go, and a flag pops out, and the Cardinals' Tommy Huizinga is the reason why. Vikings trying to capitalize while they have a chance, and that shot goes through, and Huizinga will head off. Cardinals have had a very good season to this point, and they had a midseason road trip to Texas. They played a couple of games down in the Lone Star State, beating the University of Dallas 20-5 while losing to Southwestern University 17-9. And aside from one home game in there, they also bookended that trip with a couple of visits to Indiana, to Trine and to Hanover, winning both of those games as well. Now, trying to figure out just how comparable these two teams are, is Cost cannot snare that one away. So it goes out of play, and Augustana will maintain possession. Because things can change so wildly from one season to the next, and obviously these two teams haven't played, and they haven't played as that one goes off the pipes and now fades near side. Augustana will have again. A lot of times the useful exercise is to look at common opponents. As again, missed shot. And the only two common opponents are the Milwaukee School of Engineering and Alma College, in which both teams defeated those teams, not by much of a wide margin, but sufficiently so that it didn't seem too close. So I guess really, from that litmus test as well, very little separation between these two teams, which would suggest that last year's final, the 6-5 overtime game, could be what's in store tonight. It certainly looks like it to this point. 6:30 to go first quarter, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Shot on goal and make that a 1-1 game. That one belongs to Trevor Moore, a sophomore from Naperville, attended the school right down the road, Naperville Central. And just like that, we're knotted up at 1, 6:25 to go first quarter, and no edge to be had for either team. At midfield, Jacob Bray losing the faceoff, and it's instead won by John Calabrese as he gives way. Past the midway point in this first quarter, and no edge. Cardinals continuing to try and build this program up, and a game like tonight's would be a signal that what Jay Farrell and his staff is trying to do is working. And you could point to the record in 3 years, which currently stands at 32-26, and say things are working, sure. But records aren't the end-all be-all. Sometimes it's those games against similarly skilled teams or even better teams that are the best indication for where your program is at. How healthy is it? Because you could schedule powder puffs all day long and beat up on the schools that maybe are in their first seasons or maybe don't have the necessary resources to create a winning culture. But the Cardinals are trying to build a team that can beat the best of the best in Division III. And obviously Illinois Wesleyan, as the shot is blocked and Cost comes away with it. Shot stuffed out of the stick of Lee Warwell. Obviously the loss to Illinois Wesleyan is a setback for the Cardinals, but keep in mind they were up at one point in that game 3-2, and then whether it was fatigue or some other factor, Illinois Wesleyan seemed to flip the switch and took a 12-4 win. Tied at 1, 4:50 to go first quarter. Timeout taken by North Central. We'll take one too. We'll be right back on NCTV 17. Welcome back, and the Cardinals have possession on the offensive end, following a timeout taken by Jay Farrell and his group. And so far, I mean, the Cardinals were the first to score, and then Augustana struck to tie this up, and it's a really good indication of how this game feels at the moment, which is that neither team is really all that different from the other. 4:20 to go, first quarter. Scheinfeld with it, faces up his defender and tries to get the edge on his man, and he can't do so. He gives off. Tanner James flips behind the net. Jared Weaver spins, good move, cradles, and his shot wide. And North Central awarded possession on that far sideline. Weaver, the game's first scorer, about a week after putting in 8 goals against Carroll. Out in front, and a tapper in. What a pass and what a finish for Scheinfeld, who I don't think ever actually held that in his net, instead just batted it towards the net and gives North Central a 2-1 lead. So Weaver picks up the assist, and as he has over the course of the entire season, continues to produce points. Leader in the conference in points per game at over 5, because he's second in goals and third in assists. Ray comes away with the faceoff. Gets it over to Scheinfeld, and they'll settle down for the moment. Noah Perrell checks in. He'll scoop it up. Perrell comes around the edge, still looking, still possessing, now throws behind the net to Weaver. Weaver comes back near side, goes up top, and that's taken away. Caused turnover, and the Vikings have it past midfield. That's a defenseman carrying that up the field by the name of Matt Ballara. Cardinals lead 2-1, 2:40 to go. Opening quarter of play from inside Benedetti Worley Stadium. The ball on the ground picked up by John Fitzgerald. He'll get double teamed in a moment. Instead lofts it to the far side, and Sean Tominari has it. Tominari looking and gives way. Cardinals with it, with Huizinga up top. His shot snared. Taken away, Angelos. And it stays a 2-1 game. Minute 45, first quarter. Push towards midfield. Up the field goes Trevor Moore, the Vikings' lone goal scorer to this point. As he looks around, waiting for help, and now gives off. At the top, Reese the third. Bouncing, now going. And he gets bumped off track by Stephen Foe, and the ball pops loose, and a whistle will give the ball to Augustana. Minute 7 now, so the shot clock no longer a factor here in the opening quarter. Face-up defense from Scheinfeld. Good two-way play so far. Out in front, and a sidewinding shot put on net, and Moore has his second of the game. What a shot there for the sophomore, and it ties this one up at 2s. 44 seconds remaining, first quarter. Face-off won by Augustana. And to take the lead, and it's good. Goal put in by John Calabrese 7 seconds after tying the game. And Augustana now leads 3-2. No resistance on the Cardinal half of the field. They've given up 2 quick goals and have gone from up 2-1 to down 3-2. 37.5 seconds remaining, and the ball popped towards the Augustana net, but picked up by the Vikings. And a player is down on the turf. 26.5 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it looks like some sort of non-contact injury. Maybe not. Matt Pearson was down on the play and looked to kind of fall to the turf in like a crumple, but bounces right up and is going to stay in the game. Trying to shake off what looks like an arm injury. Cardinals have 15 seconds to score. Weaver has it right now, gets walloped behind the net. Lots of pressure, shakes off. Goes up top, 6 seconds remaining. Huizinga with it. Huizinga goes over to the near side, and that's blocked out in front and in the crease. And there's the end of the first quarter. And a little extracurricular activity around the net, and 2 flags fly, and we'll have this sorted out. First quarter has come and gone, and Augustana with 2 quick ones with under a minute remaining allowed them to take the lead. We'll be back for the second quarter on NCTV 17. Second quarter upon us here from Benedetti Worley Stadium. Thanks for tuning in tonight on NCTV 17. 15 more minutes up on the clock, and the face-off still up for grabs. And alas, oh, maybe not. May have spoke too soon. It's going to be Viking ball. The lights are taking more of an effect here at Benedetti Worley Stadium. And a 20-second violation in the backfield will give the Cardinals the ball. Huizinga with it. Cardinals trailing 3-2, and the story there is that the Vikings scored twice at the end of the first quarter in the final minute. Not even 7 seconds apart. Noah Peril comes racing in, flips it behind the net, nearly taken away by the goalie Angelos. Now Weaver has it, defending with one hand, and his shot attempt sneaks out of the net and to the opposite side of the field. Tanner James off the side of the net. And the goalie Angelos thought better of coming all the way out and extending himself too far away from the twine. So the Vikings again getting pressured in the backfield, but this time get it across. Shot on net, and it's good. Sneaks through the defense and somehow goes in for Lee Warwell. And the Vikings strike again. That's a 3-0 run put together by Augustana, as they now lead 4-2. 12:32 to go here in the second quarter. Cardinals have to figure something out. NCC up 2-1. It's with about 44 seconds to go in the first quarter, and since then, all Augustana. Face-off still loose and on the turf, and finally picked up by the Vikings. Leffel with it as he gives way. Big check near side, goes behind the net. Vikings could go up by 3 on this possession. And the Cardinals will come away with possession here. Near side, Stephen Dale has it. And a flag on Augustana on the far side. Did not see what happened there. But something occurred that drew the laundry out of the pocket of one of the officials. And Huizinga muscles that one in. And the Cardinals draw to within one with 11:07 to go. Good goal from number 11. And for Huizinga, that's his 25th of the season. Second best on the team. Huizinga has been a really good second option to Jared Weaver. Those two have been playing pretty well off each other too. So it's back to being a one-goal game. And I feel like this would be a pretty big possession here and a good face-off if the Cardinals could somehow manage to win it, but the Vikings will come away with it. At the top, Logan Benedict, and he goes near side and nearly throws it away. And instead it's a turnover, and the Cardinals have it. Kazimir Plonzinski able to pluck it away. So a miscue by the Vikings, and that could be costly if the Cardinals can convert and turn some defense into offense. Huizinga controls near side, waiting for an offensive set to take shape. 10:15 to go here in the second quarter. Scheinfeld takes a shove, bounces right off of it, and his shot high and above that top pipe. Tanner James now with it. Out in front of the net, side-winding shot. Good heads-up play from Tanner James, but unable to corral it the first time. However, Weaver comes up with it. Weaver gets swamped, taken down on the play, still holds it, and then gets crushed again. And Noah Perrell nearly caused what could have been a devastating turnover had Angelos coughed it up because he was far extended out of the net. Shot out in front of the net and Cost keeps it in front. Big stop for number 43. Huizinga with it. He surveys. Makes a cut towards the net, now goes behind it to Weaver, now out in front, and James right into the stick of Angelos. His pass nearly thrown away. Thrown past midfield, but only a Cardinal there to control. Fitzgerald with it. Stephen Foe has it. Goes up top to Noah Perrell. .7:26 to go, first half of play. Cardinals led 2-1. They now trail 4-3. A 3-0 run, ensuring that as Peril has it knocked out as he tried to make a cut to the net. Some really, really good defense here in the early going. Tossed out in front, ball still loose on the ground. And a whistle, and Augustana will take a timeout. We'll take one too. We'll be back in a minute on NCTV 17. After the timeout taken by Augustana, a shot on goal is blocked by Cost. And that one ricochets out of play. Dan Torrey, the head coach of the Vikings, in his 4th season as the head honcho. 26-26 his record. Ball loose near side, picked up by the Vikings. And popped loose again, left behind though by Stephen Foe. Although he picks it up and now he's past midfield. Makes a nice move and still cradles. And now the Cardinals can slow it down a little bit. .5:25 to go here in the second quarter. Cardinals gave up a 3-0 run to the Vikings, and that's why they're down by 1. They were up 2-1. Tommy Huizinga has a goal tonight as he works on the offensive end. Whips it up top. Scheinfeld dishes off. Swung around the horn. Jacob Ray with it. And goes behind to Jared Weaver. Weaver near side, back to Huizinga, and it all starts over again. Out in front of the net, Weaver, I don't know if it ever even touched his stick, but it's taken away by the Vikings. Pass towards midfield is turned to, oh, no, another miscue. Fitzgerald couldn't pick it up. But the Cardinals end up, oh, could have been a disastrous turnover in front of the net. Stephen Dale nearly gave it directly to the competition. Hastings was hovering between Dale and the net. Instead, it's the Cardinals now with a chance to tie again. Nice move, Noah Peril. And the ball was jarred loose for the moment as he's taken a lot of contact on that far side. 4 minutes ago, first half. Weaver sprinting it, make that Jacob Ray sprinting in. Now Huizinga has it, goes around the horn to Tanner James. James back behind the net. Weaver up top. James gets a screen, goes against the grain, and his shot bounces wide and out of play. .316 on the clock. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and the Cardinals will give it up. Low scoring first half of play. Cardinals on pace for 6 goals. While on the season, Weaver is responsible for 5 a game. Moore has it. 2 goals so far for the Vikings out of number 8. Jack Preston has it, fading back towards midfield. Makes a cut on Plonzinski. Reese sizing up the competition in Ray. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. Pass out in front, Moore puts it on net and sneaks it past Cost. Pinpoint accuracy gives the Naperville Central alum his 3rd goal of the game, and it's now 5-3 Augustana.
Assisted by number 3, William Reese.
2:10 to go, first half. Face off at midfield. At the feet of Ray. Still loose. And Huizinga looks like he's in control to pick it up, and he does. Pops straight up in the air. Angelos comes out of the net, and hold on. Timeout taken by North Central before Angelos was able to cover that one up.
Timeout, North Central.
And Augustana not a big fan of that, but Cardinals will be granted the timeout, and we'll take one too. Minute 43 to go, first half. We'll be back. Cardinals able to take a timeout right as they were turning it over to the Vikings. So a fortunate break for Jay Farrell and company as they maintain possession on what shouldn't have been. Out in front, Huizinga with it, puts a shot on net, and it gets past Angelos. Just barely ekes past the right foot and into the back of the net. 5-4 now, North Central trails. And it looks like we're gonna have a pretty tight contest going into the half. Minute 25 to go here in the second quarter. Ball pops loose, big collision. Cardinals come away with it, no whistles. How does Jacob Ray still have it? And finally it gets coughed up and the Vikings take over. Rushing to the offensive end, and 2 flags come out. And what is this? The official chatting with the Vikings coaching staff. Minute and 2 seconds remain between now and the halftime break, and the officials chatting it over. And we don't have any mics down there, so it's very difficult for us to gather the information. It's basically body language and seeing how the two teams react to particular calls. And at this point in time, it looks like the Vikings have something going against their favor, and I'm just not sure what. Regardless, a lengthy delay, as the official who is responsible for throwing 2 flags continues to hold a dialogue with both coaches, but particularly with Dan Torrey, the head coach of Augustana. And you can see right now the Vikings head coach not very pleased, and Jay Farrell is just saying, you know, kind of whatever. The meeting of the minds continues at midfield over by the scorer's table. And whatever it was, it's getting sorted out. And 2 players, I believe, will be in the penalty box. That's Brandon Pearl for North Central, and I didn't catch the number for Augustana. I thought I saw 22, which would be Lee Warwell. But finally, we're back to lacrosse. And there's 62 seconds separating us from the halftime break, and only 1 goal separating Augustana from North Central on the scoreboard. Plonzinski has the man-to-man defense on the far side. With it is Reese. Throws it back to the sideline. Half a minute to go, and the ball now loose up the sideline near side is Fitzgerald. And it goes out of play. But it's going to be Augustana ball. I think Fitzgerald stepped over the midfield line. 24.5 seconds to go. So one more chance with 25 seconds to play. And a timeout taken by Augustana. We'll take one too. We'll be right back on NCTV 17.
Timeout.
Welcome back to Benedetti Worley Stadium. 25 seconds remain, and Augustana has the ball on the near side. As possessing it right now is Reese. Behind the net he goes. On the right side of the screen, now gives off. 13 seconds now. Reese back with it. Playing catch behind the net. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the half has arrived, and we'll step aside. 10-minute timeout. We'll be back on the other side for the third quarter from Benedetti Worley Stadium on NCTV 17. Welcome back, and Augustana has the opening possession here in the third quarter of play. It's been a back and forth game so far. Augustana has been the team in control for the majority of that first half. After taking the lead late in the first quarter, they extended that lead early in the second, resulting in a 3-0 run. Cardinals have whittled away every time the lead ballooned a little too much, and now trail by just one. One concern as we begin this second half, as it appears that some storm clouds may be on the horizon and blowing our way. We hope, and I didn't really realize that this could be a threat to the contest, but we might have some weather. The wind has certainly picked up, blowing from left to right across the field. Temperature dipping a little bit. There are no storms projected in the forecast until the overnight hours, but we'll see. If you're just tuning in, you're watching NCTV 17 as that goal skirts past the outstretched arm of Dylan Cost, and into the net it goes for Matthew Lampasana. And just like that, the Vikings back up by 2.
Viking goal, line number 2, Matthew Lampasana. Assistant number 4, Jason Van Dyke.
Van Dyke on the assist. Let's get a rundown of some of those stats to this point. For the Cardinals, their scorers: Tommy Huizinga with 2 goals, Matt Scheinfeld with 1, and Jared Weaver with 1. Trevor Moore, a local product, with 3 for the Vikings. 1 for Lampasano, 1 for Warwell, and 1 for Calabrese. Cardinals trying to get it right back, except the Vikings take it away. Pretty quick offensive possession to start for the Cardinals. Move made, and now dishing off. The shot, ground ball, wide left and out of play as Cost takes a tumble. The souped up car, I think, is speeding past the stadium, making its presence heard loud and clear. Shot on goal right off the chest plate of Cost. And Tamanari takes a big hack, and a flag flies. Cost extends away from the net and gets it over. Flonzinski gives away to Huizinga, and he'll come off as the Cardinals stack the deck on the offensive side and try and get this back to a 1-goal game. Meanwhile, for the goalies, Angelos with 6 saves, 4 goals against. It's the opposite for Cost, 4 saves and 6 goals against. Ball pops loose as Jacob Ray gives it away. Now takes it right back across to Scheinfeld, and his shot absolutely airmailed. And now that penalty from way earlier will come into effect. So the Cardinals will have it on that far side corner. 11:15 to go here in the third. Huizinga to the far side. That pass batted down. Picked back up by Ray. Ray falls down, slipping on the Benedetti Worley turf. Gives over to Noah Perrell. Perrell near side Stephen Foe, behind the net he'll venture. Over the middle, and the shot sneaks in there. What a goal for Jared Weaver. Slipped between a pair of Viking defenders and then somehow sneaks it in the top crossbar to pull NCC back to within one. 10:42 to go here in the third. Lights at this point have taken full effect as we've hit 8 o'clock, 8:15 to be precise, here in Naperville, Illinois. Augustana continues to have a 1-goal lead. Very important conference matchup. One of these two teams is going to be 2-1, the other 1-2. And for the Cardinals, some really big games. This is a big stretch of play. They play Elmhurst coming up next on Senior Day and then finish off against Carthage. Those are 3 teams, including tonight's game against Augustana, that could very well determine whether or not they make the end-of-season tournament and have some hope in the postseason. But it starts tonight, and the Cardinals need to get that next goal to draw back to within even. Backing out is Van Dyke. Shot blocked by Cost. Where is the ball? Ball is in the crease. No, it's all the way up the field. Stephen Foe now has it out in front. Tanner James cannot sneak it past. It was a tic-tac-toe-like play, and James just could not get it. Out in front, Weaver off the body of Angelos. Ball still loose out in front, and Angelos now has it. Man, the Cardinals with 2 really good looks, trying to tie the game. That is off of Cost and into the twine. Scoring is Teschke. His first goal of the night, and it's 7-5. Cardinals keep clawing to within 1, but then giving up that next goal. They need 2 straight. Ideally, they need 3 straight.
Augustana goal by number 55, Mark Teschke. Assisted by number 4,
Teschke with a nice contingency here at the stadium tonight. You could hear them in the background when the announcement was made over the loudspeakers. Jacob Ray picks it up, spins away from trouble. Gives off to Noah Perrell. Cardinals need some urgency. There's 8:35 to go in the third, and they've got some work to do down by 2. But every time they get a goal, it's Augustana responding. Behind the net to Weaver. He's had a good night so far. Tanner James with it. Gets a screen. Coming across it, and now has to U-turn out. Up top to Perrell. Stephen Foe over the middle. Dumps it underneath and off the stick of Scheinfeld, and out of play it goes. Cardinals will not get it back. Up the field comes Matt Pearson, but now he backs away after giving off. Eric Kroll into the game for the first time. At least I've said his name for the first time just then. And now he works his way off the field. That goes through the pipes and to the far side. The Cardinals will have it after a turnover. Mistake made by the Vikings. Perro with it. Near side, Stephen Foe. Foe behind the net. Huizinga kicks it out. Up top, back to Perro. Big whack. Knocks Jacob Ray off course, but able to stick with it. 6:30 to go, third quarter. NCC down by 2. Weaver trying to make a move. And that ball popped loose. Lofted near side, and Vikings have it. Tanner James trying to apply pressure and can't get there. Slipping past some defenders. Nice move made by Shane Forsythe. Moore dishing out. That was actually Lampisona. And the Vikings will reset with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Over the middle, and a big hit by Tominari. As he kind of steps over Teschke after providing the lumber. Seems like the Cardinals are picking up the intensity on the defensive end, down by 2. And that one called against, I believe, the Vikings. Or will it be the Cardinals? It will be NCC. So the Vikings will have it. 5:09 to go. Shot high and wide. Vikings will continue to possess. Shot missed by Moore. Back and forth they go, and now the pass slips through and towards the sideline, and it rolls out of play. Tominari able to keep the Viking away from it, so the Cardinals will get it back. And that's a turnover, and now a penalty flag comes in. So will the Cardinals have a man advantage, or is this an advantage for the Vikings? It's going to be a man advantage for North Central. .421 to go, third quarter. And NCC will get it at midfield. Peril up top gives way to Huizinga. Huizinga looking in the direction to the far side to Jacob Ray. He gets it back again. Cardinals lots of passing, trying to free something up over the middle, but the Vikings have so much congestion around the net. Shot stuffed by Angelos again. Very strong night in net. Pass towards midfield, takes a big hop and will roll out of play. Cardinals will once again have it. And tiptoeing the sideline, Noah Peril able to keep it in. What a play. Taken away by the Vikings. Ball loose, rolling to the far side, and picked up. And a nice move. Lamposona shakes free, although his pass intercepted by Fitzgerald. 2:45 to go. Ball loose again. Cardinals pick it up. And what a play there by Huizinga. Eludes 3 Vikings to usher it past midfield. Still 7-5, 2:22 across the board. Augustana with the lead, a little more than a quarter to go. Stephen Foe behind the net, ball loose, Weaver picks it back up. Weaver rattles it off the pipe and in. Feed that man has been sensational tonight. Now has 3 goals and 2 assists, totaling 5 points, and he has his team to within 1. Big time goal for Jared Weaver. The Cardinals down just 1 once more. They've done this at 4-3, 5-4, 6-5, and now 7-6. But each time they give up that next goal to Augustana, so they can they break that history? Trying to keep it from repeating itself. Minute 38 to go here in the third. Pass goes outside, and the Vikings continue to possess. Ray providing some physicality. And the Cardinals awarded it thanks to the hustle from Dylan Cost. Nice job by the junior goalkeeper. Lofts it ahead, and now Noah Peril sneaks past midfield. Peril directing traffic. Sorry, that was Scheinfeld directing traffic, and now goes near side. Stephen Foe with it. Foe makes a move, goes behind the net. Weaver swings it around. Huizinga back to Weaver. You get the feeling that Weaver's going to be the one to try and tie this game up. And except not this time around, it's a turnover. And now the Vikings pressing down the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1, quarter. 15 minutes to go in this one, and we've got a barn burner. Cardinals down by 1. Join us for the fourth quarter coming up on NCTV 17. And we're back for the final stanza here on NCTV 17 from Benedetti Worley Stadium on the campus of North Central College. The Cardinals trail the Vikings 7-6. And one big problem the Cardinals have had is stringing together goals. They took a 2-1 lead but gave up a 3-0 run for the Vikings. And since then have been unable to tie the game back up. They've pulled it within one every single time, but cannot finish off that comeback as the ball ricochets off the stick of a Viking and now picked up by North Central. And is this a timeout taken by Jay Farrell's group? And that is a timeout taken by North Central, and we'll take one too. We'll be right back on NCTV 17. Cardinals with it on the offensive end following a timeout taken. Huizinga coming around over the middle, and Scheinfeld puts it in. And hold on, the officials will confer here. Is it a Cardinal goal? Yes, it is. 7-7. The Cardinals finally get over the hump and tie this one back up at 7. $13:55 to go, fourth quarter. And that face-off won by the Vikings. Big spot here. One of these two teams is going to reclaim the lead. Fourth quarter of play, and this is a fun one. The sun is set, but the intensity is just screaming as Dylan Cost picks one up off the turf and keeps the net clean. Next team to score is going to have a big break here. Momentum is a very hard thing to break in the fourth quarter, and if the Cardinals could grab it here on this possession, very well could be in the driver's seat the rest of the way. Huizinga makes a move. Opted not to go over the middle to a cutting Noah Perrell. And that one loose. And up the field it goes. Stephen Foe picks it up. Foe goes behind the net to Weaver. He goes up top. Tanner James. I think he wanted to go to Weaver, but Weaver's man was fronting him. The shot, a big hop and an easy one to pick for Angelos. $11:20 to go. 7-7. Past midfield, here come the Cardinals. Stephen Foe dumps it down to Tommy Huizinga, makes a move over the middle to take the lead. Never got through. Scheinfeld came in, picks it up. $10:38. Still tied. Weaver lost it off the end line. That is costly. Shot by the defenseman, just wide left. My, oh my. That was a close call for North Central. .9:53 to go. Vikings have it on the offensive end. A move made towards the net. The shot rolled up and in. Vikings reclaimed the lead on the strength of a goal from Warwell, his second of the night, and now the Vikings have it right now. Big goal with 9:44 to go. Tons of time remaining though. Augie with a 8-7 advantage. Ground ball slips back towards the Viking goal, and now a turnover. An unforced error. Plonzinski has it. Past midfield he goes. And he loses it, but it's picked up by Huizinga. Huizinga was caught up for the moment, able to evade a few defenders, and onto the offensive side, the Cardinals settle. Behind the net, Weaver goes up top. Ray left it between his feet. Big collision, ball still out. It's on the middle. Oh, hold on a second, and it looks like we're going to have a covering. Yeah, Cardinals are going to get a new shot clock, and that is going to be called against the Vikings. That one left behind. Picked up by the Vikings, and Angelos kicks it out. Pass goes soaring up and out of play. And the Cardinals will have it. This game getting more and more physical the longer it goes on. That one, a push-off called against Huizinga. So gives the Vikings a chance on the offensive end. And the Cardinals a little light on the defensive side, and the shot blocked by Cost. Batted towards the net, and Cost comes back and picks it up. What a play on the defensive side. Cardinals need a score here, and they're going to slow the pace. Scheinfeld misses very high. 7:19 remaining in this one. Over the middle. A scrum for possession. And the call goes against the Vikings again. 7:07. Weaver will start with it. Looks like the Vikings have made a concerted effort to keep Weaver away from the net. He has inflicted so much damage on the Vikings defense tonight. 5 points, 3 goals, and 2 assists. Someone else is going to have to step up and fill the void, and except this one's going to go towards midfield. And a nice play by Fitzgerald to redirect it to a teammate. Ray, and his pass wide of the mark. Thrown away. Six minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Vikings could whittle the clock down to 5 if they're so inclined. Although at this point they still may not be really trying to milk it, but rather extend the lead. There's a shot up and over the head of Cost and out of play. That one wide again. Vikings will continue to have it. 33 seconds on the shot clock. 5.5 on the game clock. And a flag comes out. Shot snared by Cost, and he knows what's coming, so he's just going to leave it be as is. The Vikings will get another crack at it here. Waiting to restart play. Now finally the whistle reinitiates the action. New possession clock as the Vikings lose it. Oh man, that's a big play there. Stephen Foe with it. Double team will come, but he evades the pressure, and now Cardinals should be able to settle into their offense. And Foe's pass launched out of play. Cardinals trail by 1 to Augustana, 8-7 the score, 4:33 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's crunch time for both teams. The Vikings want to extend the lead. The Cardinals want to erase it. Tamanari just power driving his opponent backwards. And now Moore, who scored the first 2 for the Vikings, backs out with it. Looked like he wanted to try and put a shot on net. Thought better of it. Shot on net, gets past Cost. And that is a crucial tally for Shane Forsyth. 9-7 now, 3:49 in the game. Trevor Moore picks up the assist. The Vikings back up by 2. 9-7. Moore, 4 points in the contest behind only the Cardinals' Jared Weaver. An impressive showing in his hometown. And the Vikings are the ones to pick it up here. .305. And the Vikings look like they are trying to milk the clock a little bit here. Pass over the middle, and the ball loose. Battle for it, picked up by Stephen Foe. Foe racing up the sideline, cuts back towards midfield, throws it across. Plonzinski, he'll control. You can hear it, Cardinals, we got to go, and that is true. Oh, big hit. Weaver was picked up and thrown down. 2:22, Cardinals down by 2, and they'll have possession here, and I think they'll have a man advantage. So here comes the biggest moments of the contest for the Cardinals. They need a goal. Point blank. Cannot come away empty here. Even with the net, Weaver misses wide. Under 2 to play. Pass blocked. Cardinals pick it back up. Peril. Weaver. Wide again. Minute 48. Huizinga makes a move. Met with resistance. His shot leaks through. Minute 36. Up top, Cardinals with 90 seconds remaining. They need 2 goals. They need one in short order here. Tanner James to Weaver. Weaver up top. Ray lost it very high, and it's won by the Vikings. And that might very well kind of seal it. Minute 10 to go. And the Vikings can basically run out this clock. In fact, they can. Cardinals will do everything in their power not to let them, but barring an absolute miracle, the Cardinals are going to drop this game. Very fun one. And actually, the Cardinals causing maybe a turnover, maybe not. In fact, it is not. Teschke has it, and then a timeout taken by Augustana with 23 seconds left. While they confer, we'll digest and take a look at this game recap with the outcome almost completely sealed. 3 goals for Jared Weaver. 5 points total, also has 2 assists. Tommy Huizinga, 2 goals, 1 assist. Matt Scheinfeld with 2 goals. That's the Cardinals 7. Trevor Moore in his return to Naperville with 3. Also an assist, so 4 points total. Warwell with 2. For the goalies, Dylan Kotz with 8 saves and 9 goals against. Angelos with 9 saves and 7 goals against. And when you look at the real root of the problem for the Cardinals tonight, you can go back to the faceoffs. Vikings have had them more than twice as many, 13-6. Everything else is almost dead even. So just more opportunities off the get-go than North Central. Shots are virtually the same. Cardinals, in fact, out shooting Augie 30-29. Shots on goal, Augustana was 17, the Cardinals 16. Ground balls, that margin in favor of the Vikings, 27-20. But it goes back to those faceoffs. Getting possession, keeping possession. 24 seconds to go. Cardinals pressuring, but this one is all but over. Vikings just playing keep away with 10 seconds remaining, and I think the Cardinals now realizing that this one is over. Final buzzer sounds, and Augustana has won the rivalry match for a 3rd consecutive season. After losing in overtime last year, the Cardinals dropped this one in regulation 9-7, but it was fun. Cardinals nearly coming away with it, but instead drops to 8-3 overall, 1-2 in conference play. Our last telecast of men's lacrosse will come on Saturday, 1 o'clock for Senior Day against Elmhurst, and with this loss, that game becomes all the more important as the Cardinals look to even their conference record at 2-2. Until then, want to thank you for tuning in. I'm Kevin Jackman on NCTV 17. We'll catch you next time.